So was the Civil War a war over slavery? And the short answer to that is yes, it was a war over slavery. But I think it's important to remember that it's not so simple as to say that it was a war between those who thought that slavery was a moral good and those who thought it was a moral bad. Rather, it was a war, at least among the white population of the country, a war about the place of slavery in the nation, both in the present and the future. Now, that's how we think about slavery and the cause of the war in a political kind of way. But if you really think about it and think about African Americans during the period leading up to the war and of course during the war itself, for them it's directly a war about slavery, and it always was. They knew that if there were to be a conflict, and there had been many indications that a conflict might come, that this was a war about slavery in which their freedom, their possible freedom, was at stake. And it's for that reason, just to give one example, that when Lincoln is elected in November of 1860, many of the slaves assumed that this was a vote, a moment of their emancipation. They assumed that they were now free. And we know this because many of them presented themselves to United States forts on the assumption that they were free. Lo and behold, for the most part, certainly early on, they were returned to their masters. For them, they understood that this war to come was about slavery in a very personal way, their own slavery and their own freedom.